You know, like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's go do it. And he's willing to make the small sacrifices for his team as well. Like I said, be a lightning rod for criticism. Always stick his neck out there for his players. And, you know, that's what makes him such a great coach.
Yep. So it's an interesting clash between these two teams. Very quickly then, predictions, quick predictions from each of you.
I think it's going 3 games.
Okay, that's the prediction I like.
I'm going to give Secret the edge, though.
Okay, Lacoste?
I'm gonna go with Secret as well. Gonna go with my EU boys here.
Okay, Jack?
I think these are two very similar teams. They both handle the late game and those details later on in team fights very well. But I think Vici's early game has been a bit more stable. I think Secret might have started to lose confidence in some of their other lineups. So I'm going with Vici 2-1 or 2-0.
All right, good stuff. That's it from our main panel. But time to get into our first game of the day. Secret versus Vici.
Vici Gaming versus Team Secret. Game 1.
Welcome everybody to the draft panel. My name is Tsunami. I'm here joined by CCNC and BSJ, two North American titans of industry. CCNC, I'm glad you're here because specifically I've had a few questions about Mid-1 this tournament.
Yeah.
This used to be one of the most stable players for me for Secret, and as we've been seeing throughout the main stage, I've been kind of skeptical on his performance, which is weird because normally he's been super stable. This is his 4th TI. You'd think that at this point it would be rock solid, but I don't know. Do you agree that he's been kind of iffy? Do you think it's some sort of main stage thing, or is it just me over analyzing it?
To be honest, I think a lot of times on these super high tier teams, whenever individual players look like they're having, you know, weak spots or they're having bad games, I think a lot of times it's more of a team dynamic. It's, you know, the team is sort of having strange ideas or they're picking different heroes that's sort of causing one player to be a little bit out of their comfort zone, and it shows on one player's game more than others. But I feel like Mid-1 is like a legendary tier player. The way this guy thinks about the game, the heroes he's able to play, you look at the way he plays pubs, the variety of heroes he plays, and how he's still able to have like an incredibly high impact on every hero. I think he's the type of player that will always, like, he'll always come and perform, and sometimes, you know, because of the way the game plays out, it may look like he's having an off game or something, and, you know, maybe that occasionally happens, but I think as a player, he is like as stable as a mid player as you're going to get.
Yeah. Oh, one of the main points I wanted to make about Secret's drafts is at the start of the main event when they weren't having much success, they lost 3 out of the first 4 games. They didn't draft very much team fight at all. And something I believe is one of the easiest ways to lose to on-paper teams that are weaker than you is to have weaker team fight, meaning that you have to play the map, you have to be efficient, you like can't have any unnecessary deaths. And if you do, TI, we've talked about the mistakes that happen, right? And like you said, sometimes if the game where you can't fight the opponent team and you can't really split push or anything like that, it becomes really complicated. And sometimes it just shows, even on the best players in the world, that if the game's not straightforward to play, and like you said, out of your comfort zone, you're just not going to look like the class of player that you are.
And I think that's why Secret looks so dominant over the course of the season. Anytime I spoke to any other team, they were just like, Secret is, they're the best team fighters in Dota. They're the best team fighting team in Dota. And if you have that kind of intimidation factor, then you know you're willing to give up some ground in the early stages of the game because you know whenever 5v5 engagements start rolling around, your vision game, your execution game, all that stuff is going to be far superior. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I think though, what's sort of interesting about these first few picks is that Secret gave up the Tidehunter. I think if you look at Vici and LGD's series before this, where Vici dropped down, I think Tide was first phase banned in both games. I think they've been prioritizing this hero like very highly, and sort of what BSJ said about this team fight. There's sort of these TI heroes that people fall back to, your Earthshakers, your Tidehunters, Enigmas, you know, Voids, things like this that we see like being picked quite a bit right now that make the game simple. They make the game, you know, you have this hero that's going to stand in front of your tower and you can't go on him. If you go on him, he's going to press Ravage and you're going to get wiped, and it allows you to, you know, play for this win condition, pick your hero that's going to outscale the other heroes, and you can sort of sit and defend your towers and play the game in just a very stable, calm way that makes it, you know, easy for, you know, your puppy to just say, yeah, let's just sit here and let's defend this tower and farm up because Niche is going to carry this game.
When teams have been picking Tide against Secret, I was going to highlight the Void Ban as well as Enigma. Team Secret has liked to pick heroes with stuns that aren't purgeable by Kraken Shell. Because like he said, if you go on him, he gets the Kraken Shell off, Ravage, suddenly you're going to lose the team fight. And if you have that straightforward way to say, we're going to use this ability to kill that guy, it just makes the game way easier to play. And with Team Secret, they had picked Tiny absolute first pick the last 3 games that it was given to them. And I like to see that Vici Gaming banned it out because it sets up the Void so well, the most potent combo we've seen with the tiny Ags throwing the trees and basically one-shotting any hero that gets chronoed.
So the Void gets banned out. There's still the potential for the Enigma that you mentioned. Is there any reason why you think Secret went for a Rubik as opposed to like a Grimstroke, who is another hero that has one of those unpurgeable Kraken Shell, can't get rid of the silence kind of situations? It's just comfort for Secret.
Man.
It's just the Yapsor.
You get to steal the Ravage. Why not have your own Ravage? You know?
True.
So, okay, yeah, so it was Rubik on 4. It was 2-3 tied Lush. Okay,
Correct,
yeah,
yes.
I didn't see the order. Yeah, I mean, I think Rubik is also a pretty solid hero against Leshrac. It's one of these heroes that has, you know, you steal this nuke and you have this Fade Bolt, and Leshrac wants to come in, he wants to Edict your tower, he wants to be able to walk in this ball, and whenever you have this 4 that has this strong outpush, it makes it very difficult to just walk up to the tower because you're getting low, and then suddenly you're in this HP range where they're going to jump you with their Blink Dagger, and you're going to instantly die. So it gets harder to like push these towers. You can also steal the Edict, which is pretty nice, but I'm sure at some point in this draft, Vici's going to pick some nuke, and Yaptor's going to steal it, and he's going to be level 9 sitting at the mid tower, just deep-pushing this wave, and it's going to get really annoying for Vici.
And even without that, the Elder Titan provides a hell of a lot of D-push, and well, there's a hero with nukes galore and disable galore. Vici Gaming going for a Lion.
So is Secret going to respond with the teamfight disables of their own, or are they going to pick something like Abaddon that we've seen some teams prioritizing against these high disable lineups? I think there's kind of 2 different ways they can go with this direction. Do you have any idea, Quinn?
I think an Abaddon or an Omni Knight is definitely possible. We sort of talked about like how Secret have these, you know, these supports that make it very hard to run into your territory, so you can sort of, you know, outspam the waves, keep Vici Gaming at bay with a Centaur. So I mean,